Hi everyone, my name is Diallo Abdullahi and I go by the creative name King Olid, and I'm going for my master's degree in public relations. I'm making this video as part of the project of the turning points of my life. Everything started when I was really young, back in West Africa. I am Fulani, a nomad, a merchant, and now I am an immigrant living in America. I've been living in America for the past decade, and I have grown here as a man, and I have understand certain things in life, and now I am a business owner. I am the owner of Real Star LLC, an advertisement company, a production house here in Detroit, Michigan. During this session, I will be explaining certain turning point and making references to the mastery book by Green. Certain things that really stood out to me reading that book was reflecting on my own path and seeing what happened to me and how that can be related to this book. The first turning point of my life was when I was in high school, when I graduated high school. I was going to college back in my home country. I was able to find a way to basically overcome all the struggle back home to basically guide my life into basically leaving the country to pursue my education here in America. In Green's book, for finding your life, the strategies for finding your life task, it talks about returning to your origin, basically finding that key point at the beginning of your life. As he says, each one of us find what they truly are and what they're supposed to pursue in life. That kind of resonated with me because at a young age, I used to be with my mother all the time. She was a merchant. She had a table where she used to sell. But I didn't understand that I was going to grow up to be a merchant, even though I am an engineer and I am an entrepreneur and a business owner. But that paragraph inside the book kind of resonated with me because it sent me back to basically what my life task was. At the beginning of my life, something was presented to me, but I didn't pay attention to it. They sent us to school to us to study and become engineers. And now later in life, I come to the realization that at the beginning of my life, I had already something laid down to basically understand what I would be following. The first turning point in my life, as referred to the book, is avoiding the false path. I can relate to that topic because when I just left my home country, coming to America to pursue my education, I was first struck by this notion of following the wrong path. I did not know at the time. I was an engineer back home. I was studying engineering, a geologist. Coming into America, I pursued my education into the same field. I was completing my undergrad in New York, but I chose a different work which was not going with my path, which was just a way of me being able to feed myself and help my family back home. So I pursued this job of a paralegal where I was actually working for a law firm and helping people legalize their status. But that field was not resonating with myself. Each time I go to work, I come back home and I go to school. I'm basically taking these engineering classes. It's like it didn't match with what I was doing at the time. But the work grew on me to a point that I was lying to myself. Or I can become a lawyer and I can follow this degree and this, basically changing my life for just the sake of just working and making money. And on the other side, I followed another lifestyle, which was not the lifestyle I grew on. It's the lifestyle that I came to America and found, which is People work every day all the way to Friday, and they go out on the weekend and they spend everything they have. Growing up in West Africa, we grew up in a society where we was taught certain things at young age, like how to take care of yourself, how to follow the straight path, which is being a Muslim. It's understanding your life task. Most people are gonna ask themselves, what is your life tasks? Most people are gonna think is living, becoming successful in this life and having money and fame and everything. I was subjected to that at one point of my life. Knowing the path that you're on is not really a good path, and trying to avoid it and getting back to the straight path is something that we were taught since we was young. It says that as a Muslim, you're going to commit sins. But when you commit sins, God loves the most someone who repents to Him. So, someone who seeks knowledge to get closer to God. Being a Muslim is not just saying, I am a Muslim. It's basically three things. Is that your intention when you're saying it has to be sincere, and your word you have to be loud in your word saying that you are indeed a Muslim, and your limbs has to show that you are a Muslim, basically by the way you conduct yourself, the way you talk to people, the way you treat people, the way you speak to people, the way you conduct business. Because us in West Africa, as you may know, us Fulani, we are nomads, and a nomad is a merchant. I didn't realize that first at a young age until I grew up and coming to America and finishing all my studies. I had to realize that no matter what it is, I have to get back to my source. That's why I can relate to Green's notion inside the book where he says, return to your origin. And the point of return to your origin, that's another turning point of my life, which led me to basically leave my old path, which was trying to become a lawyer and basically helping people. Now I'm kind of helping people in another way, following what I love to do, which is why I became a digital cinematographer, and now I am pursuing this degree in basically public relation, acquiring a master's in public relation, so that I can be able to develop strategies and help the small businesses that I'm working with. And maybe one day working with big companies, basically helping them advertise themselves. Because now we're living in this digital age. In this digital age, if you don't have the knowledge of how to brand yourself, how to present yourself, how to present your company, present your product, in this digital age, you're going to be basically doomed. So that's the main reason why I'm pursuing this degree, is to basically help me acquire all these knowledges in this field of public relation, which I call now digital public relation, so that I can help improve my qualities of work, the work that I present to people, like the advertisement I do for companies. And maybe one day, my main goal is to basically travel back home in Africa, either in Guinea or any country in Africa, and help companies evolving on that side, basically develop themselves and attain a certain point. Last year was a little difficult for me because I lost the most important person in my life, which was my father. May Allah accept him in his highest Jannah, paradise. That kind of helped me rethink about life, because growing up I always heard who was my father. People always used to tell me, your father Labal, they call him Labal, and it's a way of saying to someone, it's a Fulani word that said someone, the clean one, or cleanliness. They used to call my father like that. But each time I encounter someone, even when I was working for a law firm in New York, I used to encounter people that tell me, okay, I met your father in Sierra Leone. He was a good man. And today he's in the hands of God. That's why anything you do here is temporary. So that made me kind of rethink and reading certain verses of the Quran where it tells me that Allah take the people that really you love the most to basically put you back on track. It's a way of basically warning you and basically reminding you that no matter what it is, this life is temporary. No matter what success you want to achieve, it's just temporary. So in Green's book, he mentioned letting go of the past. My father's death, passing away, really weighed on me because we was close, and he was sick before, and things happened, but it was his time. But I had to recover from that because if you don't recover from what happened to you, you won't be able to find your way, basically, to stand up, to be strong. What really helped me recover from that is basically meeting my wife and being able to assist me when I needed her the most, attending my graduation ceremony, and basically really helped me be strong within myself and understand that God do everything for a reason. He sent you hardship to see how you're gonna manage the hardship. He also sent you good to see how you're gonna manage the good. So in this life, no matter what happened to you, never be desperate in life. Always know that things have their time. Always be strong and work hard for what you want. And don't let nothing distract you. If something come in your life and that's not what you really resonate with you within yourself, as Green said in his book, there is something inside of you that speaks to you. That's your inner self. Many people, all the scholars that I read about inside the book, talk about demons, this and that. It's your inner self. It's called, we all know, you have the conscious and the subconscious. These two things are related to each other and they are all within you. That's why you are the most loved creation of God. You are His Khalifa, His witness to the earth. So you're here for a temporary time. You need to fulfill yourself to create your afterlife, because you're going to leave everything here, you're going to leave it here, and then you're going to go to the afterlife. So I ask Allah, God, to basically guide us on the straight path and help us in every business that we want to achieve, and guide us and help our families, and basically guide us to the straight path. Because I know one thing, many scholars say this: you can ask God for money, for fame, for all type of things. He might not give it to you. But if you ask Him for guidance, surely He will guide you. This other turning point is when I decided to join Full Sail University to pursue my degree in digital cinematography. That kind of shaped my way of time managing, basically time management, basically being able to develop your own self, being able to work with different projects and basically achieve something within a time frame. So I would say that Green's book really reflects what I have already read when I was young, and basically he has also reminded me of my life task and what could have happened and how to avoid certain things and be on the path that God has destined you to be on. And for me, obviously, is I am a merchant, I am a nomad, and I'm also an entrepreneur. Basically, I run my businesses, and I'm also a buy and sell. I'm in the business of buying and selling. Yeah, on the point of finding your way back, I had to realize that I was on the wrong path, and really with the guidance of God, because I can't say that everything I'm achieving in life is because I am knowledgeable and I'm this great. No, man. Everything I'm achieving in life is by the will of God. And He's the one who's guiding me. He's the one who's helping me achieve everything I achieve. I rely on only Him. So because of that, He has guided me into this path and returning to my sources, to my roots. Because He says, this thing says that a tree who's trying to bear fruit with no roots will never survive. You have to get back to the root in order for you to produce some fruit. So basically, that's what had led me to searching who I am. Growing up, I always heard that we are Fulanis, Fulanis, but we don't understand what is the meaning of being a Fulani. A Fulani is a nomad and a merchant. And now I have come to realize that, and I'm following the path of being who I am, which is a Fulani. So right now, the immediate goal that I'm trying to set for myself, maybe in the couple of coming weeks or months, is basically trying to have a clear schedule for my business and having both my herbal shop running, because I am also the owner of the International Herbal Nutrition Center here in Detroit. We import herbs and detox from Africa to here in Michigan. And I'm trying to get a clear schedule for that, and also for my advertising company, where I'm basically flexible in what I'm doing and also juggling between that and my classes for me to be able to achieve this master's degree. Basically, I'm in the business of not only learning to learn or getting a degree. I'm in the business of basically learning to be able to use what I'm learning to implement it within my life, and basically to progress for myself, put myself forward and my family. At this point, my SMART goal will be to get this master's degree in public relations, because public relations goes in the same direction as who I am already, digital cinematographer. So if I encounter any of the companies that I work with or the small businesses, they all need the services of public relations, which is anything from branding themselves to presenting their business. So me studying this master's degree will help me basically gain the knowledges that I need to basically implement that with the production that I already have going on, and with all the work that I will be doing. So that will be basically the SMART goal that I have, and basically focusing on developing the same strategies that I'm going to be acquiring within my other business, which is I'm planning on expanding on the organic product, because I carry all type of organic product. So that will be basically my SMART goals. And this is really the reason why I decided to pursue my passion for storytelling, because I have a story. As an immigrant living in Africa and coming to America and being able to attain this level of education and being able to become my own entrepreneur and create my business, and being able to raise a family here in America. I am grateful for what I am, which is the reason why I'm following this, to help others also tell their stories through either it's a business or a commercial or anything. That's why I'm in this business of helping others achieve certain things. Thank you for watching, and I see you again.